Please email us at any time at support@owlpractice with any follow-up questions you may have. Our team is always happy to help. Owl Practice is a unique company in that we aren't just a service provider. We have a history of working with mental health providers and we use that history and knowledge to offer advice to our customers. In all senses possible, we act as partners rather than providers. One thing that we hear most is that what really matters to therapists is the time they spend in sessions with clients. Our primary goal is to enable mental wellness by helping therapists free up their time in their workday so they can spend more time in session. We wanted to offer the mental health community some insight into daily session trends in private practice, as there aren't as many opportunities to compare your workflow or other business structures to others. This comparison can be a great way to see what's working well for you and also identify new areas in which you could improve. That's why we've created this Industry Trends project. We researched data from thousands of anonymized and aggregated Canadian therapists in June of 2018. We then put together this report. This report seeks to identify the trends in the private mental health industry in order to provide industry members with an in-depth understanding of their peers and to offer clear advice on how to solve common problems that many practices may face. If you have not yet downloaded the report, we'll be following up this session with an email directing you to download it. We'll now move on to the trends review. The client session is the building block of a practice. Time spent with clients is the reason therapists get involved with the industry. It's also the revenue generating portion of a private practice. Optimizing sessions means not only investing in your therapy so you can offer even better service to your clients, it also means optimizing the tasks and work you do outside the session to help find more time in your work days to schedule more sessions. I'm just seeing in the chat that a few people are having a hard time hearing me. I would encourage you to turn up your microphone, but I'll also try and adjust that on my end as well. The session is the unit of time spent with a client in therapy. You can use this measure to predict your revenue. Each session has a predetermined rate attached to it. Measuring the monetary value of each session lets you track your income. There are two ways for private practices to increase their revenue. 1, increase volume of sessions. 2, increase the rate of sessions. Knowing these details, we wanted to analyze how many sessions the average therapist has per month and when those sessions happen. We looked at the following trends: average of sessions per month, average session duration, sessions by days of the week, and sessions outside of standard business hours. Sessions per month, the average therapist has 41 attended sessions per month. Keep in mind, this number is an average from part-time, full-time, and student therapists. If you break this down into weekly statistics, it's about 10 sessions per week. Increasing the number of sessions you do in a month can directly increase your revenue. When it comes to session duration, 54% of sessions are 60 minutes long. This helps therapists break their day into manageable and predictable blocks of time. The busiest days of the week are Tuesday with 22% and Wednesday with 21%. With over 41% of sessions happening on these 2 weeks of the day, effective business practices on these days can help quicken client turnover between sessions and reduce administrative burnout. Many practices offer appointment times outside of the traditional 9 to 5 to best accommodate their clients. For practitioners, this can mean working longer days and a fluctuating schedule. Improving the administrative workflows for these sessions helps practitioners to focus on their client and not how late they'll be in the office completing paperwork. Our data found that 39% of therapists see clients on the weekend, and 20% see clients after 5 p.m. To understand your own session volume, we highly recommend summarizing your own as a starting point. Here's exactly how. Do this exercise for the past 3 months in your practice. Sum the Is everybody able to hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Wonderful. Okay, great. Sorry about that. I'm just going to go back a little bit as I know that my audio cut out. So I'm just going to start from the start of this slide. To understand your own session volume, we highly recommend summarizing your own as a starting point. Here's exactly how. Do this exercise for the past 3 months of your practice. Sum the total attended sessions you had in October, November, and December. Look at these in a month and then also look at them in a week. Can you isolate any trends for your busiest days or peak hours? If you're feeling unbalanced, it may make sense to rearrange your working hours. Would opening a few hours on another day allow you to shuffle client appointments across multiple days rather than having them all on one? If you're not able to move sessions or open more availability, you are able to manage the time that you spend completing client work outside of the session. This would include billing, note writing, follow-ups, report writing, etc. Reducing the time spent on these tasks opens time to be spent on more important activities like the session. This is where Owl Practice can help. We'll review schedule-specific details during our brief product tour. There were 3 pieces of information we wanted to identify for therapists: how clients pay for their sessions, when clients pay for their sessions, and how many clients use a sliding scale fee. This data showed that there's a significant variety in how clients pay for their sessions, but the most popular method is credit card. If you're wanting to optimize payment, offering clients a way to pay in their preferred manner is a great way to do this. Owl Practice has an integration with Stripe to process credit cards directly through your Owl account. This allows you to entirely streamline your billing process and offers an easy way for clients to pay using their preferred method. The majority of clients pay directly when their sessions end, which is optimal as it means that you aren't waiting to receive payment. For those of you who are, Owl Practice has a workflow tool to help you track outstanding balances. Having a balance owing tool is significant to improving your revenue, as it means no unpaid invoices slip through the cracks. If you're managing third-party revenue payments, insurance, or any more complicated billing situation, having a tool like Owl to support you will keep you organized. Oops. The nature of mental health care often results in practices having a flexible fee scale. This is often necessary for low-income clients, students, or as a practitioner's rates increase. Regardless of the why, this data reflects that a significant volume of sessions are discounted. See here that 14% of sessions are offered with a sliding scale fee. Maintaining a mental record of who receives what discount can be difficult, so there's a tool built directly into Owl to automate these. There are more statistics and recommendations in the 2018 Trends Report. We highly recommend downloading it. As I mentioned earlier, I'll be emailing you all a copy of the report after this session as well. We're now going to switch the format and I'm going to show you around Owl quickly. I wanted to give you a general understanding of scheduling, billing, writing notes, and client records. I've changed my screen to my demo account, so I hope everyone is able to see the new screen. Scheduling in Owl is designed to be intuitive and quick, so you aren't struggling to book sessions while a client is with you or on the phone. Therapists or office administrators can book sessions, and we even have an optional online booking tool if you want your clients to book their own sessions. Let's book a session together so you can see for yourself how easy it is to complete. The goal with Owl scheduling is to reduce the extra time spent on the schedule and clean up any redundancies in your calendar or scheduling process. To schedule an appointment in Owl, you can simply click in the Owl calendar where you'd like to book the appointment or use the plus sign at the bottom of the screen. This launches the Create Session window. To book an appointment, you simply need a client's name and then to indicate which service they'll be using with your practice. As you can see, the duration and the amount charged automatically populate once you've selected the service. As you can also see, this client is using a sliding scale discount. You can see the 10% discount that she is getting, as well as the amount that is charged. You can also see the original fee for the service right here. In this window, you're also able to select attendance, add recurrences, or add any additional comments that you might need for the session. Once you're finished, click the Create Session window to add this into your calendar in OWL. After a session is scheduled, the next task is to actually have the session. You will want to mark the client attended an OWL and then bill them for the session. To mark their attendance, simply click on the session and the session overview window will launch. You can see additional information as well as a direct link to the client account. To mark attendance, simply click on one of the attendance markers here. For this session, I'm going to mark it attended. Once you've marked attendance in OWL, you've already started the billing process. When billing in OWL, it allows you to create an invoice and a receipt for each session. The invoice is the record of the details, and the receipt is the proof of the payment. In OWL, billing is a two-step process. First, you create the invoice, then you record the payment. By marking attendance, this generates the invoice. This is because of the auto invoice setting that OWL uses. Once attendance is marked, an invoice is automatically generated. You can access that right from the calendar as well. Once you have the invoice, you're able to email it to the client or any of their linked accounts, as well as save it as a PDF or print it right here. Once the client has paid you for the session, you can open the session overview window again, look at the Payment Actions tab, and click Record Payment. Here, you can select the payment amount, although it will default to the amount that the client has owing automatically. Select the payment method your client has used. Add a confirmation number for a debit or e-transfer if necessary, that your practice tracks that, as well as an additional message. Then click the Record Payment button to create the receipt. Similar to the invoice, you can easily email this to your clients, as well as print it or save it as a PDF. Here's a sample of what it looks like. It's important to note that OWL will never send financial documents to your client. They always must be sent this way. This is never accidentally sent to your clients without your consent. Anyone on the call that also bills their clients monthly or quarterly, we have a feature for you. This is called billing manually and does not tie the creation of an invoice to a session. You can simply bill your clients monthly or quarterly if you would choose to do that. There are other billing tools available to you in OWL, such as the ability to charge clients for fees beyond the session, a balance owing tracker in the workflow, and a financial dashboard so you can monitor and analyze how your practice is growing. But at the session level, the basics of invoicing and receipting that we just reviewed simplify your practice. Writing accurate and easy to review session notes is one of the most important things therapists can do. Your notes should be simple to write, stored in an organized fashion, and easy to access if you need to transfer a client or a court request a copy of them. OWL's note writing tool lets you write session notes in-app. Just click on the calendar session and then click the Create Note button to write a note. This launches our notes editor within OWL. As you can see, there's many options to format the text however you would like. You also have the option to choose a template. OWL comes pre-populated with 3 templates, and you can also upload your own under the settings section of your OWL profile. If you choose to do rolling or continuous notes, you also have the option to bring in a previous session notes for your client. Here's an example of how a template looks in OWL. Once you've saved a session note, OWL will begin creating a revision history for college compliance. You're also able to upload any files or associate client documents that they have uploaded that might be relevant to a session. Once you've finished the note, you're able to sign the session by using the Sign button here. This adds a digital copy of your signature as well as your credentials and the date and time that the note was signed. This also locks it so there can't be further revisions to the note. You can store your notes in OWL for as long as you need to keep a record of them. Even if you retire or leave, we have storage plans available for you. Every client in OWL will have their own client record or client profile. You can once again access this through the calendar by simply clicking on the client name here or searching for the client's name using the search in OWL. I'm going to do this now to go to the client's profile. The client profile is organized to make finding information easy. You'll have a tab for sessions and notes, which stores all of the sessions for this client. Contact and Clinical is where you can edit any pertinent client info. Documents is general storage for documents other than session notes. Finances is historic receipts and invoices for your client. And the Logs feature is a documentation of any email or text message sent to a client. There's a lot of information in the client profile, so I'm not going to review it in full detail today, but there are a few great features that I wanted to point out to you. The first is appointment reminders, which can be found in the Contact Details tab under Contact and Clinical. These are the handiest way to automate a task that typically gets pushed to the side when a practice gets busy. Appointment reminders are emails or text messages that are delivered to a client before their session. OWL makes these automatic, so you're able to enable the reminder once when you add the client. You're also able to select the time that you would like these sent. And then they're sent a reminder for every session you book for them in the future. The second feature I wanted to highlight is linked accounts. This is a feature for those of you who do family or couples therapy. Linked accounts allow you to link together multiple clients and specify their family relationship, as you can see here. You can book them in for family sessions and have your billing reflect that. OWL even copies the notes for your family therapy sessions to each family member's sessions and notes area. The third is service discounts, which you can see under the Account Details tab. If you offer sliding scale to your clients, you can automate it client by using the Service Discounts tool. Our data tells us that 14% of client sessions have a discount of some sort, so this tool ensures that you charge the correct amount for each client every time. If you're trying to get a better understanding of your session and revenue data, the dashboard is going to be your best friend. Use this tool to gain in-depth understanding of your growth. You can use it for strategic planning, reporting, and for accounting tasks like month-end reconciliation. There are three areas of the dashboard. The first is year over year, or a very generic presentation of your sessions and revenue by month and year. Stats is great if you're a visual person. These graphs will be great for you. See information laid out with actual versus projections of your practice data. And data imports allows you to pull any practice data as a CSV file that you can open with Excel or numbers. These are the basics of OWL, and I'm going to head back to the presentation now. As you can see, OWL Practice consolidates many types of administrative work into one easy-to-use, intuitive solution. Thanks for taking the time to learn about OWL with me today. We'll now move into the Q&A session, but first I wanted to let you know what the next steps with OWL are. We offer a 14-day free trial, so you can test OWL before committing. Start that by heading to our website and clicking on the free trial button in the top right corner. We are currently running a promotion to offer your first month free. To be eligible, you'll need to sign up for a paid plan before the end of day today, as this is the last day of the promotion. Contact us at support@owlpractice.ca to get started with that. Thanks for taking a time again to join me with this tour of OWL. As I mentioned earlier, we'll follow up this webinar by sending you a list of helpful resources for your further consideration. I also just realized that I've made a mistake. I'm so sorry. My notes didn't match the screen, and the sign up has actually been extended to February 7th to receive your first month free. Before we wrap up, we'll have a question period to address any remaining questions from the group. I'm going to head into the chat function now to see if there's anything that I've missed from the call. So if you have any questions, please type them into the chat box now, and we'll stay online for a few more minutes to answer those. I haven't seen any questions come through, so if you do have any, just a reminder to please type them in the chat box in your go-to meeting, and I'd be happy to answer them now. I'll just stay online for another minute or so to see if any questions come in, and then I'll end the webinar. Thank you very much for everyone for attending today. I hope that this was helpful for you. All right, so I'm going to close the session when we hit 3:31. So if you have any questions, please get them into the chat before we close it. And if not, thank you again for attending today. We'll be following it up with an email with the trend, encouraging you to download the trend report. All right, so I'm going to end the webinar. Thank you again for attending, and we'll speak with you soon. Goodbye.